Hey, YouTube. Um, this is Therese. I'm making this video to put up on my Fraud Fighters International channel. And Fraud Fighters International was a company that I founded, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, before I got sick. And I was hoping to provide a service to consumers who are having difficulty having corporations and large businesses actually live up to the promises they made when they took the consumers' money. And I felt there was a place for that without having to go to a very high-priced attorney, somebody who is attached to the British Attorneys Registry, meaning that they work for the bad guys anyway. So I had started this company, never really got to operate it. I still have a valid LLC licensed in the state of Arizona that's in good standing with the Corporation Commission. And so I'm going to be using that channel to actually provide the information I'm finding out. And essentially the information that I am finding out, I'm finding out because I look around me and what I see is the fact that something is really wrong. And a lot of people are involved in their everyday life. You know, they got families, they've got jobs, they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off, and they really don't have time to notice anything. And frankly, you know, probably 10 years ago, I fell into that category myself. Not that I, had small children or anything, but I had a job and I was, I was like trying to fit everything into my life that would have been of benefit to me around what was a benefit to the powers that be, which, a lot of people call them the cabal. We have a shadow government in this country, and there's no doubt about it. If you spend a little bit of time researching, you can't but help to agree with that premise because, well, let's put it this way. Okay, so we hire a president by electing him, or him or her, let's hope not, but anyway, we hire a president, we get to quote elect a president, but frankly we don't get to select that president, and both of the mainstream party nominations are chosen in advance. I mean, we really have nothing to say about that. They're going to rig the election if they have to. And I mean, don't get me started on why I think we've got an effigy of a would-be president who is a multi-billionaire, or so he says, who represents the people. Yeah, right. But anyway, he's running against an equally bad candidate who it seems like anybody who crosses the path of the family winds up dead. Go figure, huh? I mean, what a coincidence. Good way to, end your problems is to just end who's creating them for you. But, that's like a Bush family legacy. Oh, don't get me started on that. Here I am going off the track. My first video, no, not my first video, but my first video talking about this particular subject, and I'm going off the track. Anyway, I saw a video recently that is really concerning, and that's what I want to address today. It's a video about a seven-prong attack on the United States that is going to involve foreign troops coming in on all of our borders. And, I mean, hey, is that a conspiracy theory? Maybe. But frankly, we've been hearing a lot about how our borders are unprotected for a long time. Recently, a border agent committed suicide and left a note saying that he couldn't fathom being a part of what he was kind of being controlled to do. So I would like to err on the side of listening, seeing, and, just going with my gut feeling about, is this a conspiracy theory or is this potentially conspiracy reality? And I'm going to err on that side. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, frankly, I'm not invested in being right. I would like to be wrong, but gosh, it's starting to make me think that I'm not. A little bit scary. So that's what this video is about. It's about this video that I watched from I think it was the Next News Network. And it spoke about the seven-prong attack on the United States. It was the first in a series of two. I have not seen the second one. And as a matter of fact, even though I'm subbed to that particular channel that ran this piece, or yeah, I mean, it's a news editorial about something that I think any American who is watching my video now, who does not watch that video, is going to be kicking themselves in the ass afterwards. Now, that being said, I watched it. It had been mirrored. I mean, I don't even know what all the terminology for this video generation is. But one thing that I do know is that it was foretold for me that I was supposed to be a talk show host. And I laughed about it at the time, but I do respect the person who gave me that information, who was my healer in California, a guy named Douglas Johnson. And gosh, I mean, I can't say enough about how wonderful Douglas Johnson was. He's passed now, but he really made a difference in my life. And at some point, I'll tell you more about that. But anyway, I had asked him to do a reading for me because even though he was practicing healing arts, he was also psychic. And when I asked him to do the reading for me, he told me that he wasn't doing that anymore, but that for me he would do that, which I thought was wonderful. And so he did, and he was the one who told me I wasn't fulfilling my soul purpose. My soul purpose was to be a talk show host. And I laughed, and I thought, yeah, me, the next Oprah Winfrey. Shortly after that, I was asked by a cable station up in Yavapai County, where I was living at the time, to do a segment for them. And I did a segment called TJ's Healthy Habits about alternative health modalities, because I've seen for a long time that Western medicine it got sold out to the bad guys a long time ago. I mean, you're better off sticking away from Western medicine, because they're going to try to make you sick so that they can make money because they made you sick. That's how I look at it, and I mean, that's been my experience. And I've had breast cancer twice. I've got heart disease now. I've got MS now. And frankly, I stick as far away, or I stay as far away from their intervention as I possibly can. I only have one doctor right now that I trust, and the rest of them are just like ambulance chasers. They just want to make a buck. But that being said, now I'm going off in another direction. Maybe I should call this a foundational video to the kinds of things that I've noticed, and not just noticed from afar. I mean, let me tell you that the reason that my red flags were up about a lot of this stuff is from my personal experience. I mean, I would have a personal experience that I would sit and scratch my head and say, this can't be possible. This can't be legal. This can't be allowed to happen. How is this happening in my country? This would never happen in my country. Oh my God, it's not only happening in my country, it's happening to me. Fuck, what is that about? So that's where I'm coming from. And as I start to put up videos, I will be telling you more and more about my own personal supportive information that brings me to where I am today. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to try to do some editing and put in links or whatever you have to do to make this a better YouTube experience for you. And hopefully you'll sub to my channel, and as I continue to tell you more, you'll become more interested and wake up. And that's my hope. You'll wake up. And this is not, I got to tell you, and I'm going to put this out here right away. We're involved in a spiritual war on this planet. And it's a war between God and Satan. And for a long time, I was a New Thought religious follower. And I had come to believe that there was no devil, there was no Satan. And let me tell you, I've changed my mind on that, because I have seen that there is a Satan, and that Satan is alive and well. And our government practices satanic rituals. Bohemian Grove, Alex Jones went in there with InfoWars and did footage of what they do. Skull and Bones. I mean, those organizations where the shadow government is being actually groomed, they're satanic, and they'd make Aleister Crowley really proud. But you know, when you look at our roots in Satanism, JPL, Jack Parsons, I mean, he was a Satanist. I mean, we have Satanists all over the place, and so I'm not going to ignore the fact that those people exist. So let me take a look at this video. I'm going to be trying to do some editing, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, thanks. Okay, you can stop now. I am finished recording. I love it. I just love it. Man, I just got a new computer, and I was making a video on that, and I ran into problems. And this one's not even on the internet. That's amazing to me. It won't let me shut down. Ah, what amazing. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing.